himself, wishing good luck to Team Challenge ALS. No doubt he's tuned in here tonight as he's getting ready for his NFL season down at training camp. League MVP last year, a very yearly Super Bowl champion. They are motivated by coming up short. Tish players on the roster will climb in the NBA. Traveling 5 days, might get you back.
But however, hope you guys are having an awesome day, awesome night, or awesome evening. If I'm looking around all over the place, it's not that I'm not looking in the camera, it's just that I'm looking at like 2 different devices and typing on one and then talking on another one. So if you happen to come in while I'm tagging some stuff real quick, then I'm not gonna forget you. I'll see you. Hey, who's that? Who's on?
Where does Pete find the strength for the ALS Bucket Challenge to the way he lives his life and all the causes he's involved in, despite battling this horrible disease? How does he do it?
I think what happens is where it's all the family.
Hey, B-Boo. What you been up to? Look, I got a little time to chop it up before folks start coming in. How's work going?
Wise words for all of us, John. Thank you so much, and thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. Such an inspiration, Doug, that's for sure.
No doubt about it. Thank you, Jen, and thank you very much for John stopping by. Happened to be down in D.C. Yesterday, and so why not come home?
It probably take a little while before your comment come in though, because every time I go on, it takes a little minute before I can see like the person's comment. But I can see that you watching though.
Well, it's a great thing that Sean Marshall
Hopefully it's not going in and out because this weather is tripping. So I had to wait a while before I can come on because this thunderstorm is crazy.
they've got themselves a 3-point lead over the Ohio State alumni team, Scarlet and Gray. 7.5 minutes to go.
I'm just on here waiting for people to chime in. I'm giving them a minute to chime in before I start. Let's see, I'm gonna type on this side and then talk on this side. See if that works. It's delayed too. Let me see.
He sees himself up on the jumbotron, knows the storyline, and knows what's on the line because the winner of this game tonight.
So I'm gonna give it like 5 more minutes, and then if nobody is able to chime in by then I'll just go ahead and just get started. Because I know my Wi-Fi signal is not the best right now because of the weather or whatever and Spectrum and their issues. So I'll give it like 5 more minutes, and then if nobody is in the live, then I'll go ahead and just start, and then they might just have to watch it back once it's over, unless they could just come in like while I'm doing it. And just put some stuff in here real quick before I get started. Hey, I can see you now. Hey, y'all. I can see 3 people right now, but I haven't seen no comments yet, so I don't know if people can comment yet or if they can't comment. Because our little power went out for a few seconds and then it came back on. Hey, Sandra Boo, I see your thumbs up. It went out for like 5 minutes and then came back on. It was scary as hell, though. It was so loud. And I was at home by myself, too, the Ernie and that. But it's back on and running again, so I'm back up and running. So I just wanted to come on here kind of early today, because I know for the last couple... Hey, boo-boo. Hey, Sandra. I just wanted to come on here kind of early, because there was a few things that I wanted to talk about. I was going to come on here and talk about a little bit about hair, but I wasn't feeling that. So tomorrow I'll make it about hair. Tonight I don't even want to make it about hair. And then I'll do a demo or whatever and talk about it, and curl it up or whatever tomorrow. But tonight we just gonna talk about some stuff like social injustice and police brutality, and you know what I'm saying, and safety awareness, and how we could, like, educate ourselves better to like protect our sons and daughters and our family members and ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's a lot of stuff that we don't talk about. You know, so I felt like that was a cool topic to discuss or whatever. So, you know, we can have fun with that. So I'm here and I see you, but right now I'm just typing some information in here because I wanted to get some information out real quick because I promised that I was going to put this information out like 2 videos ago, and I just kept forgetting every time that I came on. So I want to just start being like more, you know, just remember more when I come on here to do stuff. Like a lot of stuff I got to write down. So I'm just pinning some stuff in real quick before I start. And hopefully that'll give people some time to get in if they need to. How's it going, Sandra? I really shouldn't be doing this without my glasses. Everything is good. Look, I was a little spooked for a minute. Because, I guess we had like a little bit of a thunderstorm. It's just cloudy right now, but I guess the rain haven't came down yet, but the thunder and lightning, it was so loud. It was like, shook my building. I was like, what the heck? And I'm usually not at home by myself, so I was like low-key scared for real. But I'm good. Like my TV and stuff is back on now, so I'm good now, girl. For real, I was like, oh shit, what's going on? Is it the end of the world? Like, what the hell? Yeah, so we just gonna talk about some of that stuff. And tomorrow evening, we'll go back to that. We'll go back to the hair and stuff. So, I just put, I'm putting some names in here, like, as I'm talking right now, you know, while we just kind of, like, giving it a little time or whatever. Because, actually, like, I got to learn how to be, like, a little more patient because, like, when I was going live, in the groups, like, you know, people were picking up faster. So, now that I'm going live on my own page, it's taking, like, a little time for it to pick up, so... But guess what? If I give it some time and we don't get to start, then hey cousin, it'll be okay. We just gonna be a little bit more patient and give it a little more time. Hey boo boo, I see you. Y'all bear with me. I'm looking at 2 devices. So if I look this way or look to the left and then come back, I'm not crazy. I'm just like all over the place. I kept promising that I was gonna put these plugs and shout outs in here because I know they you know, because my son is doing his music and I love you so much. Girl, I'm trying. I'm working hard. And you know, he ain't through with me yet. He got a lot more for me to do. But I had to start somewhere. But I'm just excited because I've been working on this stuff so long. I've been keeping quiet and just not saying nothing. And hey, baby, I love you. I was just plugging you in right now. I was just telling them, like, look, let me plug you in, plug everybody else in. You know what I mean? And then before I get started. But, yeah, I've been working on this for a long time. A long time. It's been like a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of sacrifice. And just saving my money. And just researching. And just like putting my education to use and stuff like that. So, it's all tying in together. So, I'm just so excited. I see you guys on here. So, like, if my viewer number goes down, it goes in and out. So I still know you guys are here. So I'm going to just keep on talking. This weather is just acting funny right now. Yeah, so you know what? If anybody, just to mention it, like if anybody have like any type of business or anything that they doing, like music or hair or you know, looking for a job or looking for a new place to move to or a place where they already at or anything, like they can just, you know, put their information in my inbox, or they can just add it onto the chat if the video is over, because I always go back over everything before I, you know, after I finish. And I'll make sure that I'll network it with the other people that I you know, conversate with and everything. And we gonna get it out here. We gonna do this. It don't matter what it is. Like if they trying to go to school or, you know, get their degree, GED, or they need childcare, or, you know, they're having some type of problems with, you know, paying their bills. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do much right now, but I'm gonna get this to where we could do a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Because I feel like this is my mission to do this. You know what I mean? And then on the flip side, like my own thing, like that's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Like my hair business and all that, that's gonna come. I don't have to, you know, I don't have to come on here and just keep pressing that every single day. Because sometimes I don't feel like going in that direction. You know what I mean? So I just want to come on here and just talk about what's important. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to come back on here and do the second video of the day. But I usually come on here and talk about hair and hair care and how to grow your hair and tips and stuff like that and promoting the business. But today I don't want to do that today. Today I just want to talk about something that's way more important to me. You know what I mean? Especially if you know what I mean, if you're a mom or a parent who have sons, nephews or brothers or fathers or uncles or whatever. Like everything that we going on today in this world is so crazy, you know what I'm saying, that it's not even funny, you know. But a lot of times there's so much going on that we're not aware and we're not alert, you know what I'm saying. So one thing I always try to do is like continuously educate myself so that I can continue to educate my sons. And my sons can educate their friends and their cousins and their, you know, so forth and so on. And then at the end of the day, like they get to learn how to protect themselves, how to know the laws, how to know their amendment rights, you know what they can do, what they can't do, how to say it, you know, what not to say. Hey Tish, I see you. I'm glad you were able to get in on this live, girl. I know you missed the first one, but look, you in here. We spoke that up. Yeah, so, you know, it's so much stuff that we could be informative on when, you know, when it comes to, hey, boo-boo, when it comes to helping one another, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, in this house, like, we addicted to CNN. Like, I be watching that for like 5 hours straight, sometimes more depending on what's going on. And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't stop. Yeah, you made it, boo. You made it. Yeah, so, you know, like, tonight we just basically just going to talk about some stuff like, you know, social injustice and police brutality, safety awareness, you know, and just how to be, you know, better role models for our kids and how to teach them, you know, how to protect themselves and what to look out for and who to be around and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because that's so important to me. Right. And exactly, cousin. Because you know what? We can't just continue to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? And just like, oh, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, you know, and it's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not opposed to like protesting or marching and all that stuff. But what good is the protesting if there's nothing behind it? You know what I mean? Because back in the day, you know, like I teach my kids, back in the day, protesting was effective because when they protested, they took something away. You know what I'm saying? So, like, say for instance, if, you know, they were fighting for equal rights, they wouldn't ride the bus. They didn't care if they had to walk like 10, 20 miles to get to where they had to get to. They was not going to get on that damn bus. You know what I'm saying? So in the midst of them doing that, it took them not making money. So at some point, it might have took them a while, but they were like, you know what? Like, we're going to have to give them something because we're going to keep losing money if we keep treating them like that. You know what I mean? So that's why like marches and protests and stuff like worked back then. And so now it's more so like just showing your face and protesting and holding the signs and all that. And so there's a way we could be more effective and get the word out. But we got to start with our own people first. You know what I mean? And then branch out, you know, instead of, you know, just saying, okay, where's the next protest going to be and just showing up there. Okay, that's all well and fine. But what happens when the protest is over? Then what? You know? So it's just better to be way more informative. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't even matter now, like if you have daughters. You know what I'm saying? It was more so about your son. But now it's about sons and daughters. Because now we're in a position where we have women, like young women, you know, that's our age or younger. I just read an article week before last, I think, about a young lady that was like in her 30s. I believe she was like 31. And gosh, she was stopped for a traffic infraction. They took her to the, hey Frida. Hey boo boo, I see you. They took this lady in because they stopped her because they said they stopped her for a traffic infraction. And she went into the station, but she rolled out, you know, in a body bag. But did we hear about that on the news? No. Did anybody know about it? No. So it was just like another person on another ordinary day. You know what I mean? So they don't care. They killing us so fast it ain't even funny. Because now, hey boo boo, I see you. Yeah, they don't care. It's just like, it is what it is. Because I'm going to tell you something. My thing is this. It's not really for me to like or dislike anybody because I'm 41 and people might not agree with how I feel when it comes to politics. But until I see like proper change and somebody's not telling me like, oh, you know what? You just got to wait on it. I'm not going to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to register to vote. I'm not going to do that. And there's a legitimate reason why I feel that way. Because why should I have to go out of my way to make something affordable to you and you don't even give two shits about me, my people, my family, and what we going through? You don't want to treat us as equals. You say we matter, but we don't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that I won't become a voter, but until I see like some change, like, no, I'm not going to be voting. You know, so I understand why, you know, Kapernick took the knee. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? They got pissed off at him for that. Because he wanted to stand up for something that he believed in. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as he did that, what did they do? Oh, they don't care. They do not care. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the more you try to protect yourself, the more you try to speak out, the more angrier they get. You know what I'm saying? The more they want to rough you up, the more they want to take you to a police station and kill you. You know what I'm saying? The more they want to attack the women, attack the men, kill your kids in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to get up and go to work every day and not worry about getting killed in our car You know, or our kids being shot in the middle of the street because they want to go play basketball or go to school. You know, but we gotta police ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, right? We need to come together. You know what I'm saying? Because as long as we allow them to keep us apart, then they're gonna be successful. You know what I mean? And we're not gonna get nowhere. We're gonna stay at the same level, if not worse. You know what I mean? So they're gonna continue to do what they want to do, and then they're gonna expect us to do what they think we're capable of doing. When in reality, we are so powerful, it's not even funny. I don't even know like how strong I can express that. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody that can go through slavery, you know, make it through that, you know what I'm saying? And while you're going through slavery and you being beat to death every single day, they working you like a dog, raping your women, impregnating your wives and all this crazy stuff. And we withstand our ancestors, really, not us, but our ancestors, like, made it through that. You know what I mean? And we still going through that same stuff today. The only difference is that they just flipped it around, because a lot of shit that they did back then, they can't really do it now because it'll be illegal. Right. But you know what? I think for me, like, my honest opinion, I think that, because, you know, like Tish said, like, we rather tear each other down than build each other up. And that's true. But here's what I think about that. I think that sometimes when you've been down so long, you don't know how to get up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just get to a point where you just give up. And you just like, it is what it is. So if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out with a bang. And that's the mentality that a lot of us have. You know what I mean? Some of us have the mentality like, you know what, like, I'm just out here trying to ride and trying to get it, you know. I'm tired of hearing about what's going on in the White House. I'm tired of hearing about Donald Trump. But guess what? You better listen about what's going on in the White House and what's going on with Donald Trump. Because one thing about it, if somebody is, if somebody is like, you know, willing to tell you up front that they a snake, you better believe they a snake. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd rather you tell me you a snake to my face than tell me, you know, then do it behind my back. You know what I'm saying? So this man is being honest. We just ain't listening. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we just got to like wake up, empower each other. You know what I'm saying? We could police ourselves. It's simple. You know what I'm saying? Part of that is do what you got to do. Stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Become our own business people, men or women. You know what I mean? Look at this lady in Compton that's 30-something years old who, you know what I'm saying, like, worked her way up to have her own grocery store. This is not like no mom and pop shop. Not saying there's nothing wrong with that. But this is like a legitimate grocery store, like a Superior or something like that. Like, she did this at 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing wrong with working for somebody. But guess what? If Donald Trump can be a billionaire and anybody else could be a billionaire, we can too. We just got to put the work in. And then we just got to believe in each other enough to support each other. You know what I mean? So we don't always have to, and it's, you know what I'm saying? It's no disrespect. I don't mind, like, if I'm getting treated right, I don't mind, like, giving my services, you know, somewhere else. You know what I mean? If I go shop in Chinatown, as long as you treat me good, I'll support you. But a lot of times, like, we need to, you know, support each other. So it's just like me, right? I'm starting a hair business. I can't expect my people to completely support me, number one, if I'm not coming correct and coming right. And number two, I got to make sure that whatever it is that I'm selling, it's a good product. And most importantly, it's affordable for my people. Because a lot of times when we want to support our black people, it's too high. You know, the prices are too high. But guess what? When everywhere you go, every city you go to, there's a Chinatown. There's a Chinatown in downtown LA. There's a Chinatown like on the 60 coming towards my way. I done seen a lot of Chinatowns, and all they doing is just sitting there building up their little, neighborhoods, putting their businesses in there. They living in their own communities. You barely hear about them. You know what I'm saying? So they basically just like in a whole community by themselves. And before you know it, it's gonna go from a neighborhood to like quadruple that. But all this is happening while we just around like with our eyes closed. So all companies are going down and other nationalities is growing, and we're still stuck in slave days. Right, we are. But you know why? I think it's half and half. You know what I mean? Because I don't, you know what I'm saying? Even though a lot of stuff is not fair, you know what I mean? And a lot of stuff that we go through is really, really messed up. You know what I'm saying? It's really messed up. But I'm going to say 50% of that is part of what they do, and the other 50% is us. You know what I'm saying? This, for instance, like the police brutality. Like a lot of times you can't avoid the police. You know what I mean? Like you could be driving in your car, hitting your blinker every turn, stopping at every stop sign, sitting upright, driving the right way, and the police could still bother you just because of your skin color. So a lot of times you can't get away from it, but there are times where you can avoid it. You know what I mean? And put yourselves in like different situations or different, atmospheres, so to speak. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of stuff that we could do. You know what I mean? Instead of us just like wasting time, pick up some books. You know what I'm saying? Like in my household, like you read. It's not all about like video games, and I mean it's here. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what's important. Like in here is like reading books and informing yourself, and I'm in here like grilling my kids, or my daughter now, because she's the only one that's here. But when my other kids was here, I'm like teaching them like, look, when you go to school for business, because a business is never going to go out of style. Learn the law, learn how to protect yourself, learn how to speak right, learn how to pronounce your words right. When you go out, wear a belt. You know what I'm saying? Hang out with the right people. You know what I mean? Check in. It's so many things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, one of the things that I'm like so grateful for is the time that I grew up in is probably like the time that a lot of us grew up in. You know what I mean? Like, our like aunts and uncles and moms and dads, like they were like super, super strict on us. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even funny. But guess what? When you look at us today versus the kids today, it's a big difference. You see? So sometimes it's better to just go back to that. You know what I mean? And use that with your kids. You know what I mean? Most importantly, just build up your relationship with your children. You know what I'm saying? I have a son that's about to be 25 in maybe a week or so, or two. You know what I'm saying? And my other baby is about to be 19 on September 1st. But guess what? They live on their own. But you better believe, if they need to know something, they calling mama. Or if they need to know something, they calling daddy. You know what I'm saying? Before they go out to their homie or somebody in the street or whatever, they gonna come to us first and ask us, Mom, Dad, what do you think about this? What should I do? Look, I have this problem. How do I solve it? Because I don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? Build your relationship up with your children. Talk to your kids. You know what I'm saying? Ask them questions. They might get tired of you being in their face, but I don't care. Like my daughter, I ask her all the time, are you okay? How was your day? You know what I mean? Did you have a good day? Did you have any bad problems with anybody? Or Was people nice to you today? Like, I want to know everything. And so I also want my kids to be able to come to me when they're having problems, because a lot of times they don't want to come to you and, and burden you with what they're going through, because they have so much, peer pressure. It's not even funny, from everywhere. Just school alone is enough. You know what I mean? School, like the neighborhood you live in, and all this different type of stuff. So they deal with a lot. And so one thing I learned about kids and my kids is that if your kids see that you having a bad day, or if your kids see, you angry, or you struggling, or when you come home from work, you having a bad day, and guess what? They probably had an even worse day. But just for the fact that they see you down, they don't want to talk about what's going on with them. So they'll just push their stuff, push their feelings aside. You know what I mean? Because they just don't want to burden you with what's going on. And sometimes you just have to say, you know what? I know I had this messed up day today, but it ain't about me right now. So let me sit down with my kid or my children and just chop it up with them for an hour or 2 or 3 and just pick their brain and see what's going on, And then that's why you have like some of these kids, committing suicide, because they getting bullied online, or people are bothering them and, bullying them at school, and we have no idea. It's not that we don't want to know. It's just that we have so much stuff going on. Like sometimes we just forget to ask our kids, you know what I'm saying? And before you know it, you like, why is my child dead? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did I miss? So that's one thing that I love to do with my kids. Like, make sure you it's imperative that you build a relationship with your kids. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be your children's first love is their parents. You know what I'm saying? And then everything else comes behind that. So however you raise them, however you love them, however you treat them is what they're going to look for. You know what I'm saying? Because I only have one daughter, and I tell my husband all the time, hey, you her first love. So I'm not telling you to walk on thin ice with her, but I'm telling you to treat her the way you treat me, and then treat me the way you want somebody to treat her. So that when it's time for her to be able to date or fall in love, or whatever the case may be, she's going to look for somebody that emulates that exact type of love or type of relationship that she saw, you know what I'm saying, when she was young. But if they not getting that, then they going to look for something else. You know what I mean? So everything that we do with our kids is important, And we're not going to always know the right answer, know what to say, know how to fix the problem, but I think it all just based on just communicating with your kids. You know what I mean? Take your kids out, watch a TV show with them, I'll sit here and me and my daughter will lay in the bed and watch YouTube videos, and we'll sit here and laugh. You know what I mean? But by us doing that, it just opens up the, the communication lines, and she might say, you know what, Mom? Let me tell you what so-and-so did. You know what I mean? And I'm like, girl, what? You know what I mean? I'm going easy, just to see where she gonna go. And before I know it, she done just vent it and let it all out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that I learned just by trial and error. You know what I mean? Just like being able to raise kids over 20-something years. Because a lot of times, I wanted to pull my hair out. You know what I mean? Not because my kids are bad kids. It's just that, kids, they go through phases. You know what I mean? And then I just caught myself saying, you know what? I tell my kids all the time, well, now my daughter, you know what? You're not supposed to get what I get. You know what I mean? So guess what? When you having that moment where you don't agree with what I'm telling you and you get frustrated and you want to storm in the room, that's what you're supposed to do. Doesn't make it right. But you're not supposed to be on the level that I'm on, because then you'd be too ahead of your game. You know what I mean? So it's just about having patience with your kids. You know what I mean? And just really being in tune with them, you know. And at the same time, educate your kids. It is imperative that you educate your children. You know what I mean? Whether if that's, you know, through school, you know, if you have to put them in programs, you know, or if you have to teach them yourself, or taking them to the library and, you know, doing research with them and teaching them about their history, you know, how things were then versus how they are now. Like, whatever you could do with your kids, you know what I'm saying? Do that. You know what I mean? And most importantly, like, when it comes to your kids, like right now, like my daughter is about to be 14 years old. So it's little things that I allow her to do. You know what? Somebody was trying to message in. I'm here though. Yeah, but you know, basically, you know, it's just so much. But at the same time, it's like there's a solution, so many solutions for us to like fix the problems that we're in. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, another conversation I was having with my husband one night, because it upset me that at one point in time, you know, which was not that long ago, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm going to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an open book. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to come on here like, oh, I got it together, and because I don't. I struggle just like the next person. So at one point in time, you know, I had to be on assistance. You know what I mean? Because once I got sick and couldn't work full time like I was, you know what I mean? I had to go get on assistance. So, you know, it was one point like I walked out of there furious, like in tears, because here it is. I'm coming in here like to get assistance, right? For myself and my family or whatever. And I promise you, I brought every single document, if not more. And these people basically told me to turn around, go home, and get this one little piece of paper that was not even important. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here next to the person, you know, on the side of me who's getting, you know, who's applying for the same thing. But guess what? They had no ID. They had no social. They had no birth certificate. And they walked out, and you know what they told them? Oh, you know what? You can go into the you can go into the lobby and wait for your name to be called to pick up your card. But I had every document that I needed, and I was turned away. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, that kind of like ignites like anger in you, you know, and hostility, because it's like everybody is not on assistance to abuse it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is not on assistance to be on there for generations and generations to come. Some people just really need it at the time until they can get back on their feet or make the next move. So a lot of times, like, they put us all in the same category. You know what I mean? And I believe in, for real, yeah, that really happened. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the same time, it's like, I agree with them saying, you know what, like, we gonna have to time limit you guys, because it's only so much funds that we have available. You know what I'm saying? So I don't agree that a person should have to be on for, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. You know what I mean? Because by then you should be able to have like some type of solution. But if you have to be on there because, you know what, you just happen to get pregnant and you have a baby and you don't have childcare and your baby is too young, or, you know, you do get ill or whatever the case may be, they kick you down when you're already down. And here's an example, right? So say if you get on assistance, right? They start giving you your money or whatever, you collecting and you doing what you got to do. But this one particular time you say, you know what, I'm going to get up and I want to go look for a job because, like, I'm grateful for what they give me, but it's just not enough. You know what I'm saying? So you go out and bust your ass to go look for a job. You know what I'm saying? And then guess what? You look for a job, which is like probably a minimum wage job, right? And so you get the job. So you like hella excited because you like, I'm doing something good for myself. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so proud, blah, 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 blah. You know, I don't have to be dependent on the government helping me. You know, I'm going to work my way off the system. Guess what? So what they do is this. Oh, you know what? We're going to have to take everything away from you because you make $1 over, you know, the borderline of what you can make on a job. Are you kidding me? So guess what happens though? They think that a lot of people just don't want to work. My bad, you guys. And I don't think that that's true. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do want to work. And I think what happens is a lot of people get scared and they panic. Here's why. Because if you have a situation where you have a steady... Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, but, you know, what I was saying is a lot of people want to work. You know what I mean? It's not that they want to be lazy. It's not that they want people to take care of them. But what it is that the government, they embed this fear in you because here's, like I said, you have this steady income coming in. So say if at the time you had 2 kids, you know, you might be a single mother, right? And you getting $520 a month, right? But you find a minimum wage job and then they tell you, you know what, like you got to report everything, which is not a problem. And then when you report it, you know what I mean? Oh, you make $1 over the, you know, over the limit that you can make. So you know what? We're going to have to cut your money or cut your money down. Why? First of all, when you get a job and they give you a 90-day probation, if I'm not mistaken. So that 90 days either entails if you're going to stay on permanently or if they, you know, or if you're going to leave it and get something else. So my thing is they can make this a lot simpler on people that's on government assistance. Stop putting this fear in people because a lot of people need their medical. A lot of people, you know, need the food stamps or their EBT, and they need their money. So they already know, like from the gate, that the money that they get from the government is not enough. That's why they went to go get a job, right? So now that they got the money from the job to add with the money from the government, now you want to threaten them by saying that you're going to take half of that money away. Then you say, you know what, you make too much, so we're not going to be able to give you medical. So what's the first thing they're going to say? Oh my God, I can't let that go. Because if something happens to me or my kids, then we won't be able, you know, we won't be able to be seen. So you end up letting go what you think is less valuable at the time. You know what I'm saying? Which is the job that you apply for. All they have to do, you know what I'm saying, is let the person know, look, we need you to report your income. You know what I'm saying? But we know that you have a job. You know what I'm saying? Because they know you have a job before you do. You know what I mean? Because when I went back to work, they sent me a letter telling me congratulations. And I'm like, for what? You know what you congratulating me for? They knew I was hired before I did. So all they have to do is say, you know what? We're going to give you 90 days from the date that you reported your job to, you know, so you can see if it's going to be a full-time job or if they're going to lay you off and we'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to cut you down, you know what I'm saying, just because you got a damn job, you know, and we're not going to take your medical or your food away or the cash that we give you. We're going to give you enough time to get on your feet. And when you get that time to get on your feet, then we'll cross that bridge when we get it. If they treated people like that, then they wouldn't panic. They wouldn't get scared. You know what I'm saying? And then it would motivate them to want to go out there and get jobs. They should do that. And guess what? They could do it. But you know, the real thing is they don't want to do it because it's either one or two things. Either they want to, if they going to help you, you know what I'm saying? They going to help you as much as they see fit, or they ain't going to help your ass at all. But it ain't going to never be what's right. It's always going to be what's right to them. You know what I'm saying? So this is why, like, you know what I'm saying, this live was like so important to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like so much stuff like that we could be sharing with each other. So many ideas. You know what I mean? So much like strength and, you know, empowerment and like pushing each other to become stronger, you know, to strengthen ourselves financially, you know, education wise, you know, strengthening our families, you know, helping each other with, you know, because back in the day, you had a whole village that took care of one kid. You know what I'm saying? If moms was at work and that kid messed up, that kid got their ass whooped by the whole street. And then you had to wait for your mama to come home so you can get the encore ass whooping. That's how it was when I grew up. You know what I mean? But these days, you know, kids will be out here doing something and people will just keep on going and won't even say nothing. You know, like, oh my, look at that. You know what I mean? Well, we got to look out for our people, man. We got to get it together. Because they letting us know, like, off the back, like, look, we don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? And like they say, I'm going to tell you again. I don't know how many languages I can tell you. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? So at some point in time, like, you know, we got to care about ourselves. You know what I mean? Now, when they come to like, you know, especially like our sons right now, it's just crazy. Like, I don't even know what angle to go in. You know what I mean? Because at one point you have like all these young men, you know, that's not even 18 years old, like these babies, like they killing babies. You know what I'm saying? With no legitimate reason, like they just killing our babies, like it's like they swatting flies. And then get off and get away with it. And then when they get away with it, then they want to come back and justify why the family or why the people shouldn't be angry about it and why they shouldn't have to make so much noise. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy, you know. But when what was it? Trayvon Martin and Freddie Gray and I'm gonna think of the other baby's name too, and it's not coming to me. Tamir Rice. You know, when these babies were murdered, you know, the system is so jacked up. You know what I mean? And I think that when we fighting for something, like our skin color is always going to be a barrier when we fighting something. You know what I mean? So just on our skin color alone, you know what I mean? It's like a blockage for us. You know what I mean? So we got to fight like 10 times harder, like to prove a point or to fight for what we believe in. And so like when these babies like was murdered, you know what I mean? And I could feel for these families and these moms because, you know, my 3 sons and my nephews and cousins and all that. And if that was to happen to one of them, like I would be devastated. And I don't like it that the system takes advantage of people, like takes advantage of like people who has been through like their kid or somebody being murdered or something in their family. You know what I mean? Like they'll go ahead and say, you know what, like we're gonna prosecute, we're gonna charge them for the murder of so and so, so and so. Okay, so you get a little bit of hope in you, and you like, okay, hopefully they'll get it right this time. You know what I'm saying? And then here's something that somebody else probably won't agree with me with. You know what I mean? And if they don't, that's okay. Once this happens, and especially if it's like something that turns big, like a Freddie Gray situation or Trayvon Martin situation, you have these attorneys that will pop up, right? First of all, you'll have like these, Al Sharptons and Reggie Jackson, these activists, they'll pop up, when these things happen, you know what I mean, to show face, you know what I mean, to say, you know what, like, I'm here to support the family and whatever it is they need, you know what I mean? And it's sad to say, I don't know these families, you know what I mean? But I know, like, a lot of times, like, in our culture, you know what I mean, like, when it comes to being, like, on cue or educated when it comes, like, to the law and how to fight the law and how to protect yourself, like, we don't always have, like, that knowledge, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff that pisses me off is, like, when this happens, you'll see, like, if something small happens, you never hear about it. But if it turns out to be, like, a big situation that makes it on the news or CNN or whatever, then before you know it, you see a lawyer pop up. You know what I mean? And, I'm representing this family. You know what I mean? But guess what? Are you representing the family because you want to win for them? Or are you really representing the family because you just want to show face? You know what I'm saying? Because you want to show face and you just want a big case on your name. Because I can recall 2 deaths that was tried, by this one lawyer, and they both of the cases were lost to the point where they had to go to a civil suit, right? And that's a whole nother issue right there. But before I even go there, this one lawyer, and I wish I had his name, but this one, black lawyer took these cases for these families. I know he took Freddie Gray's, and then he took another one or whatever. And it just makes you wonder, you know what I'm saying? How hard I'm not saying he didn't fight hard for this family. I'm not saying that at all. But it makes you wonder, like, in the back of your mind, like, did he really fight hard for these families? You know what I'm saying? Like, to get the justice, you know what I'm saying? Like, to make these people pay for what they did to these people's, family members or their child or whatever. And these cases came back like, you know what? Like, it was justified. Not guilty. Not guilty. Not guilty. Like, that's the thing of the past now. Not guilty, right? And so, when that happens, then what happens next? It's always, the guy that was shot in the car with his fiance, with his baby in the back seat, right? What was his name? His last name was Castile, right? And so, unjustified, right? I mean, as far as, like, the police officer, like, they fear for their lives, this is why they did what they did, blah, 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 blah. So it was, it was just, so what? Not guilty. So they either back on the force, back on the beat again, or they either quit. And the only reason why they quitting is because, if they go back to work, they got to worry about the people in the street that want to retaliate. You know what I mean? But like I said, on the flip side of that, speaking about the attorney situation, they run up, jump up like, I'm going to support the family and I'm going to take this case. And, these families is really like, please, like, help me. Let's make these people, go punish for what they're doing. You know what I mean? So that they can pay for what they did to my baby and possibly stop them from doing it to somebody else. Right? And you would think that, okay, it's going to take some time for them to, set up the trial, whatever it is they got to do, set up the jurors, select the jurors, get a trial date. Nuh-uh. It all happened like that, like clockwork. And then before you know it, you're looking on the news again, and it's like, the verdict is in. Not guilty. Right? And you're like, damn, that was fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was, that's why I'm saying, like, it kind of raised the eyebrow, like, to make you wonder, like, damn, like, how hard did he fight? You know what I'm saying? Because like for somebody to just jump up and just take somebody's case pro bono. They need to do that too. It's a lot of things they need to do as far as like them retraining them, because that's a whole nother subject. So you right about that. But you know what? When these cases, you know, hey Niche, when these cases you know, went to trial, whatever kind of trial that was, and they came back with this not guilty verdict, they always do the same thing, which is, you know what, go straight to a civil suit, right? And so one thing I was doing is like teaching my kids the breakdown of how that works. You know what I'm saying? So say for instance, Lord forbid, one of your family members get murdered or something by the police or whatever, right? And you take it to trial. They find that the officer was correct in what he did and he is not guilty, right? Okay. So that the attorney automatically goes to a civil suit, right? So guess what? They already knew that the officer was wrong. So the way that they apologize, the way that they make the officer pay is by paying the family money. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you like this, if Lord forbid, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't give a damn about $2. If the attorney was to come to me and say, you know what, like, we can try it, but, you know, if we can't get them this way, we could do a civil suit. Fuck the civil suit. I want these motherfuckers to pay. You know what I mean? Like, we going to need to do what we got to do in order to make them pay. Point blank, period. Don't come to me talking about no civil suit right now, because that money is not going to bring my family member back. But here's the effed up thing that they do with that. They'll do the civil suit, right? And they'll say, oh, you know what? We're going to award the family, I'm going to say $5 million. Because I don't know if Freddie Gray's family, I think they received like $5 million for 2 years or something like that, somewhere in there. And so I was just teaching my daughter the breakdown of how that works, because the average person would be like, well, you know what, it's not going to bring my family member back, but $5 million is a lot more than what I had. You know what I mean? But guess what? It's not a lot. Here's why. If you have $5 million, okay, there's this thing called Uncle Sam. Okay, he getting half of that off the top. Okay, so just for the fact that you lost your family member, Uncle Sam gets half of that, right? So if you have $5 million, right, Uncle Sam gonna take 2.5 of that, right? Which means that you only have 2.5 left, right? Right, and then from the 2.5, then you break that down. You have like $1 million and some change within 2 years. You know what I mean? So you're not getting anything. They making you think that you're going to get $5 million. And in actuality, you're not getting $5 million. You barely getting $2 million. So it just makes you feel like, you know what? Like, I'm getting tired of this system trying to play me for a damn fool. Because everybody is not stupid. You know what I'm saying? We are intelligent. We're very smart. We innovative. You know, we are creative. We can come up with some stuff. We can create stuff. You know, we are talented. We can sing. We can dance. We can, you know, we dominate in sports. It's so much stuff that we could do. So we not idiots. You know what I mean? But just the fact that they try to play you, you know, like you stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just ridiculous. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just kept saying, like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, you just feel for the family because you want the family to win. Yeah. And you know what? You know what, Tish, you're right. If they do have any student loans or debt or whatever, then it's going to come out of that money too. So it's like, at the end of the day, and let's just say at $2 million. So, you already gave away half to Uncle Sam, right? So now you at $2 million, okay? So out of that $2 million, you probably gonna spread that around to your family. You're going to give a little bit to mom, a little bit to dad, a little bit to sister or brother or grandma or whatever. And then mom and dad probably want to buy them a house, right? So you got about $300,000, maybe $400,000, depending on how much they want to spend. Then you got cars, right? Which is usually what people buy. So I'm going to give that, I'm going to say $50,000 for the car. So right now you almost at $400,000. But then guess what? Then you got another breakdown because now you gotta, now you gotta manage the upkeep. You gotta manage the upkeep of the stuff you just bought, which is the taxes on the house, right? Your utilities, the landscaping, any like problems with like plumbing or anything break down, like that money gotta come out of there. You know what I mean? So how long do you think that's gonna last? When you think that we would, you know what I'm saying, say, you know what? I might want to buy a house and I might want to buy a car. But being that I know that this money is not going to last me forever because it's messed up how they even did it and spent it, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But now that you have what you have, we as people, we need to be smart enough to say, you know what, if I only have like 1 million and some change, then before I go spend $300,000 on a house or spend $50,000 on a car, let me get some CDs. Let me invest in some stock. Let me, become an entrepreneur so that when I do purchase these things that I want, I'll be able to support it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll have like revenue coming in, not income, revenue. Right. Invest. Because there's a difference between income and revenue. Income, profits, like you want to be in a position where you know your money is going to grow. Right. Yeah, I understood you. Yeah, you want to be in a position where you know you're going to be like financially taken care of. You know what I mean? Because like just having some money for a time being and paying something doesn't mean that it's going to be there forever. Hey, hon. Hey, honey bunny. I was just about, I was just about to call you because you was on my mind. You're going to live a long time. People just don't understand that. You're right. So, that just go back to what we were saying earlier, that sometimes when you just down so long, you know what I mean, and you just down from like, being down from like generations and generations and generations, you just don't know how to get up. But guess what? If you don't know how to get up and you don't have people behind you helping you get up or pushing you to get up, you're going to stay down. So you're not going to know, you know what I mean? You're not going to know how to invest your money, how to support your family. You know what I mean? Like how to create a nest egg. You know what I mean? Cause like, supporting your family, like if you go work a 9 to 5, that's just getting by. You know what I mean? I don't consider that as like taking care of your family or supporting your family. That's just making it day to day. You know what I mean? And that's not guaranteed because guess what? Your boss could call you before you come in and say, you know what? Yesterday was your last day. So don't even come in. But guess what? But if you're in a position where you buy some stock or you have some CDs and you have a savings, or you trying to start a business, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to be okay. Hey, boo-boo, I love you so much. I was going to call you. I'm going to call you, but I was definitely going to call you. I'm glad that you on here. Cause like this is like stuff that, cause my sister is on here, and this is stuff that we talk about all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like we teach our kids this, we talk about this stuff all the time. So it's just important that we just like continue to like lift each other up, not tear each other down. You know what I mean? And we just have this tendency sometimes, and it just irks me. Like, I don't have to know everything because I don't know everything. I want to learn what I can learn. You know what I mean? So right now, Tish could teach me something right now that I don't know, and then I can take that and use it. My sister can teach me something that I don't know. I can take that and use it. You know what I mean? But I don't know everything, but I'm trying to learn. You know what I mean? That's what we need to do. We need to try to learn. Pick up some books. You know what I mean? Instead of your kids like playing PlayStation and Xbox all day. You know what I mean? Make them read books. Take them to the library. You know, turn on CNN. You know, because some people will say, you know what, like, ooh, the news is just crazy, but I gotta turn this because it's just too depressing. It ain't depressing to me because I need to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I might not be able to get out of it, but at least if I need to run or something, I need to know. So we just gotta believe in ourselves more and trust that, you know what I'm saying, that we can do what they do, if not even better. Because a lot of times we do it better, but a lot of people will take the credit for it. And I'm not going to sit here and make it a color issue, you know what I mean? But if you have a higher plateau or a higher seniority, or sometime if your pigmentation is a little lighter, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you get to take the credit for the situation. So we just got to put ourselves in a position where, you know, that doesn't happen to us. It doesn't mean that it's, you know, we going to free ourselves overnight, but at least we can start working at some point, you know? So I'm just saying, like, you know, it's just crazy, and it's just imperative that we continue to uplift each other. Like I said, you know, I'm new to this, but I'm so proud of myself. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even express, because believe me, I'm like, this, everything is new. Like, this was like all perfect timing. I can't even describe it. I can't even describe the feeling. You know what I mean? And right now I'm looking at the camera, but it's showing me one person. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. You know what I mean? Because you know why? Because I'm on here doing something positive. I'm on here like spitting knowledge. I'm out here like trying to inform my people, my family. You know what I'm saying? Like how we could be smarter and be, you know, like put together. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? When people look at us, they look at us in a different way. You know what I'm saying? They're not looking at us like we just, you know, the slum of the earth. Like we don't know how to conduct ourselves, or, you know, we don't know how to take care of ourselves or how to survive. We've been surviving for hundreds and hundreds of years. You know what I mean? And the sad thing is, they know that. You know what I'm saying? They know all of this. But on the flip side, it's like, even though they know it, they want to keep, you know, they want to keep it on the down low. You know what I mean? Because guess what? Once people start getting a whiff of how smart we are, then, oh boy, it's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like, if we start educating ourselves and educating our children and putting our children up on game, you know, being tighter on them and, you know, working on our finances, becoming entrepreneurs, working for ourselves, oh my God, the world is going to turn, then spin, and then turn again. So it's just like, just little like talks and stuff like that, and like advice and, you know what I mean? Like just motivation, you know, self-motivation, uplifting one another, you know what I mean? Because for some reason, it just seems like it's just so hard for people to do. You know what I mean? Like I get a joy out of helping people. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, it just irritates me a little bit, like when I see the potential in somebody and then they don't want to take the help. You know what I mean? Or they don't want to apply it when I know that they have it. But other than that, like, I love helping people. You know what I mean? Because of the situation that I'm in. You know what I mean? And like I said earlier today and yesterday, when you have a life-changing, you know, situation in your life, it opens your eyes to like So many things. Like, you probably saw those things then, but it's definitely, it's nowhere near how you see it now. You know what I mean? So you see things like so clearly. You know what I mean? And you just take you appreciate everything. You know what I mean? Being able to walk or raise your hand or being able to speak clearly without, having to stutter or without having to worry about tripping and falling or having a seizure. Like, you take everything in, and it's like you just appreciate the air you breathe, being able to be awake, being able to be, to sleep at night. So it's like you just want to like share, you want to share that inspiration with other people. You know what I mean? I don't want to be, and I'm not going to say I don't want to be. I'm going to say I'm not going to be one of those people who's going to be like, girl, hey girl, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to help you. I got you, you're going to be okay. But then after I say that, then I done forgot all about you. You know what I mean? Like, that's a waste of time. So we just got to like continue to inspire each other. So like I said, I promise I'm going to make a vow. You know what I mean? I'm going to make a personal vow that I'm going to get on twice a day. You know what I mean? Half of it is going to be to, for me to promote my business and to make my business stronger. But the other half of it is for me to inspire other people to be able to do the same thing that I'm trying to do in my life. You know what I'm saying? So that is my solemn vow, to come on here and make sure that if I just come on here just to say thank you, or just to say, you know what, I love you. If nobody else love you, I love you. I'm praying for you. I'm pushing for you. Hey, Sandra, if I gotta, it might be a point in time where I might have to give somebody a swift kick in the butt and say, hey, girl, you know better. You know you got this. Like, why you slagging? Let's get the chop. Let's get this together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? I could have came on here and just talked about my hairline and, talked about my hair and did another demonstration. I can do that at any time. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, I didn't feel like talking about that right now. You know what I mean? I feel like talking about something else because I feel like this was like way more important to me at the time. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, when you do something positive for other people, then whatever it is that you're trying to do in your life, you're going to be blessed tenfold. And it's going to come when it's supposed to come. Just like I started this live, the same way it's going to happen when that business start rolling in, it's going to happen at the right time. So I ain't got to rush. You know what I'm saying? But just by us being on here, talking about what we talking. Okay, boo, I see you. Because look, I had to remember to put my charger on too, because if I don't, then I forget, then it goes dead on me. Yeah, but we just to catch you up a little bit, we was, pretty much just talking about, like social injustice and, police brutality and like what we could do, like to work together as, as family and as a community, like to build each other up, what we could do to make ourselves stronger, how we could be smarter and not have to depend on what other people tell you or to depend on the rules that other people make for you. You know what I'm saying? We can make our own rules. You know what I'm saying? We could be disciplined and we could police our damn selves. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Right now that can't happen because folks will be like, oh, don't be telling me what to do. Who are you? You ain't my mama. You ain't my daddy. Well, guess what? If you don't want me to be that, then stay in your lane. And, don't commit no crimes. And everything will be good. So a lot of, like I said, 50% of the stuff, we kind of put ourselves in the situations, not the situations, but we put ourselves like, in the place at the wrong time. You know what I mean? Because of some of the people that we deal with or some of the things that we're doing when we hanging out with those people. So we can't always blame the man. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong, the man is jacked up. You know what I mean? He be doing some real foul, you know what. But on the flip side, like, we got to look in the mirror and we got to check ourselves. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I try to, like, check myself at least once a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, did I do this right? Could I do this better? You know what I mean? What can I do to add to what I already did? You know what I mean? Did I at least say one nice thing to one person? You know, did I think about somebody else at least one time before I thought about myself? You know, what advice can I give somebody? How can I empower somebody? You know what I mean? Like, if we all just did that with each other, we wouldn't even, half of the stuff that that we deal with, we wouldn't even be dealing with it. You know? So, like I said, it's just very important. You know, I don't know how much I can stress this. It's very important that, you know, that we, if either we are parents, if we're not parents, if we are aunts or uncles or grandmothers or whatever, you know what I mean? Or none of those things. And you just happen to, you know, have a friend that has kids, whatever the case may be. Like, you know, we have to step up to protect our youth. And the way that we protect our youth is by teaching them how to do things the right way. You know what I'm saying? How to carry themselves in the right way. How to inform themselves in the right way. You know, to teach them, look, this is not to scare you, but this is what's out here. And this is what's going on. So we're going to try to avoid this by doing it this way. You know, teaching our kids, like, you know what? It's nothing wrong with going to college. It's nothing wrong with being smarter. You know, a lot of times people say, oh, I don't want to be no nerd. Well, call me a nerd then. Because the nerds is the ones that's, you know, that's employing people and giving people jobs. You know what I'm saying? The nerd is the one who ain't homeless. And the nerd is the one who, you know, either he or she got their shit together. So call me a nerd. I want to be a nerd. You know. So we, you know, because like my daughter, she loved basketball. But I also tell her education's first. You know, you can have a passion for basketball, but don't depend on basketball to you know, take care of you for the rest of your life. You can play basketball from now up until you finish college, and then you can get drafted into the WNBA and then go play your first game and blow your knees out. But if you dumb as hell, how the hell you going to take care of yourself? Or better yet, if you make it to the WNBA, but you don't have an education and they sign you to a $5-10 million deal, how you gonna be smart enough to count your money? How you gonna know if your agent or your accountant is not stealing from you or taking advantage of you? So either way, you have to educate yourself. You know? So this, you know, this was basically just what I wanted to talk about today. It's like I don't know what it's like where everybody else is, but like for me, like I'm like super excited. I was scared earlier because we had that loud lightning and thundering, and I was at home by myself. But it's over with now. But right now it's just like it's so gloomy and it's cloudy and so pretty right now. So it's just like chill mode. The house is quiet. So, you know, I didn't want to get on here and ramble on and on about hair today. You know what I mean? I talked a little bit about it earlier, you know, but today or this evening, like as I'm winding down, like I just wanted to like just talk about something that was informative, you know what I mean? And share, you know, some thoughts, you know, some concerns, you know. And guess what? The 3 people that's watching right now, that's 3 people that we probably didn't even have, you know what I'm saying, listening to the same conversation. Because those same 3 people can take that information and give it to 3 more people. and then those people could give it to 3 more people. And then before you know it, you know what I mean, it's going from 3 people to 27, and so forth and so on. So it doesn't, I always say that, it doesn't matter like how many people is watching you. You know what I mean? It's all about getting the information out there, sharing what you know what I mean? And just showing love, you know what I mean? And just keeping it real, you know? Because, you know, at the end of the day, I care about what happens to me and my family, and I care about what happens to my people. You know what I mean? You don't want to, like, it's heartbreaking when, you know, as soon as you turn your TV on or you go to social media, that's the first thing you see, like, so-and-so just been murdered by a police officer, or so-and-so just died in jail, or, you know, all this crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we got to figure out a way to get ourselves out of this rut. You know what I mean? And the only way we're going to do that is by empowering ourselves, educating ourselves, and, you know, even like helping others educate themselves. You know what I mean? Or just sparking up a conversation with somebody else like, girl, you know what? This is what I talked about today. Like, listen to this conversation. You know what I mean? And then it goes from there. And then that person, they transfer, and then it goes on and on and on and on. You know, and before you know it, it could be bigger than bigger than you thought it would be. You know, so I appreciate the platform. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I'm going to say this every time I get on here. I don't care if it's one person or if it's 100 people. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate every person that come on here, that take the time out to listen to me, that take the time out to comment, you know what I mean, that take the time to watch, you know what I mean, or the people that are not able to chime in when it's live, or the people that watch it after it's over. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, this is just something new that I'm doing in my life, you know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, nobody owes me anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys don't have to take the time out of your day, you know, possibly at, let me see, it's almost 7 o'clock my time, so probably over there where you guys are at, it's probably almost 9, and it's a weekday, so, you know what I'm saying, like, y'all don't have to do that for me. So, with that being said, you know, I am always going to say this. I am forever grateful that I have an outlet where I can come here and I can speak my mind, and I can be as real as I need to be or want to be. Or I can come on here and I can say something influential that will inspire somebody, that can help somebody. You know what I mean? Or if somebody is going through something and it makes their day better, you know, or they learn something that they didn't know before. You know what I mean? I'm like forever grateful for that, because me being able to use my voice, you know, to speak to someone else, you know what I mean, is everything. You know, because initially that's something that I normally wouldn't do. I'm just being honest. Like, I would not be on live right now. Like, but I just continue like to push myself and, you know, build up my courage. And I say, you know what, I'm going to do it. And, you know, don't go in with these unrealistic expectations. Whatever happens, happens. You're going to get stronger and stronger every day. You know, more people will learn about you. They will follow you. You know, your viewers will get stronger, you know, when God is ready for them to be stronger. So I appreciate everybody being on here, and we're going to do this again in the morning. I'm going to try to be on here by like 8:30. 8:30, possibly 9 a.m. my time. So even if I have to set my alarm, because I get tired of saying that I'm going to do it and then I don't do it. I mean, I do it, but it don't be at the time that I say. But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna set my alarm for 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. That'll be the first one. That's basically like the thank you for the night before and the motivation and everything. And then the evening one, you know, I'm gonna try to do 5:30. So, cause you know, 5:30 probably be like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock somebody else's time. So then it, you know, kind of make it fair where it's not too late. So I'm not gonna hold you guys too long because you know I've been on here for an hour and 30 minutes. And you guys have a great night. Have a great night and have a blessed night. Yeah. And then I'll talk to you guys in the morning. Okay, you guys. Bye. Have a good one.